Hey guys, 600 Chase here. So it's time to change my rear tire, and I'm gonna show you today how to do that. And basically all you need are the tools that come on the motorcycle, the manufacturer tools, and they're all just the stock tools, and it's very limited what you'll need here, and it's very basic. So before you get started, if you want to get yourself a little mat to protect your knees, gather yourself the tools that are under the seat, and just put the motorcycle on the stand, and that's basically all you need to take the tire off. So we're gonna go ahead and start by loosening these. These will give the tire slack to be able to slide back and forth. They won't slide back and forth because this is still tight, but you want to loosen these first before you loosen that up. So you'll notice that on your tools you have these two, and you'll be using both of the size 12, and all you have to do is just loosen this one and then loosen that one, which is almost loose. This is the counter nut that holds it tight, and do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to loosen that and then loosen them. So once you have those loose like that, you're actually, you know what, you're going to want to go ahead and take them fully off. Put these off to the side, put them in a safe place. That's it. So the next thing are these tools. These are the ones that come in the tool bag, and excuse me. This one's going to be used for this side, and this is the side you're going to be loosening. And now there's only one extension, but that's all you need, because this one doesn't require a lot of pressure on this side. So let me lean a little bit here, get my mat under my knees, and you're just going to go ahead and put that in there like that. Put this one on here and just hold it. Pretty much just hold it and start loosening this one. Just like that. You see how it's not very tight? That's all done. You're still going to be holding this side so it doesn't spin. You're going to take that off. Take that washer off, put it on the side. And see? That's all you need. So what you're going to want to do next is push the tire forward to give it that slack, and then be able to pull the chain off. Just like that. Just easily start spinning it, and there it is. Just put it off to the side. I don't have a chain guard, so I'm able to lean it here on this where the chain guard would go. And then once the chain is fully off the sprocket, what you're going to want to do is push the shaft out. And oh shit, I hit the camera. Okay, so while you're pulling the shaft out, you're gonna want to hold the tire, because you don't want it to drop like that. So you're gonna pull the shaft out, set that off like that, gently, and then slowly drop the tire. Now your caliper is gonna be loose, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want the weight of the caliper to just be hanging on the line. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your shaft and just cross it through again. And leave the weight of the caliper on that. And the chain, you see, it's there. You can stay there, you can move it wherever you feel comfortable. Just leave that there. There's the tire, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take it down to, oh, you're gonna want to take this off too. They don't need it down at Chaparral. Your sprocket, and set it down gently. You don't need any of these rubber pieces either. And you're gonna want to be really careful with these. You're gonna want to take those down. If you're taking your tire down to the tire shop, you're gonna want to be careful not to lose them. You need them in there, but just be very careful not to lose them. Okay, so like I said, this is a Power 2 CT, and this time I'm gonna try another Michelin. I'm a big fan of Michelin tires. I'm gonna get the Pilot Power 3 or Pilot Road 3. I can't remember the exact name, but like I said, Michelin is it's a great tire. So that's the way you take the tire off. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away for right now, go down and get the new tire, and I'll be back to show you guys how to put it back on. Alright guys, so I got the tire back, just came back from the shop, and like I said earlier, I had the Michelin Power 2CT on it before, but I decided to get the Pilot Road 3 this time because I've heard lots of great reviews about it, and I'm just a big fan of Michelin tires, so I decided to go with this. It was only a few bucks more, so if it's better, it's definitely going to be worth it. So we got our trusty tools, which are the ones that come in the motorcycle. That's all you'll be needing, and just the size 12 ones. Okay, and like I had said earlier, you don't want to leave the weight of the caliper hanging on the line, so that's why you put the shaft here. And now we're ready to remove it and start installing things going in a backwards pace. So we're going to start off by removing that shaft. Alright, so once you've set the caliper back in place, if you got the tire and you've got the shaft through, you're going to want to push the tire forward and start getting the chain in there. You can do that easily by pushing it all the way forward and spinning the tire. So that's on there, and now we're going to start putting everything back on it. Okay, so the next step you want to do is to make sure that you give your chain the correct slack. And in order to do that, the way I found most effective is to do one nut on this side, one nut on that side. And what you want to do is start spinning this until it pulls the chain to the right slack. And as you're tightening this, you want to check the slack on your chain. Until you're comfortable with it. And I'm comfortable with that. Your owner's manual should definitely tell you what the slack should be for your chain on a stock swing arm. And see, that's where I'm comfortable with. I've tightened that there. The next thing you want to do is straighten this tire out and push it all the way forward. Just straighten the tire out, put that there to where it's tense. Now, there's other ways to know where your tire is supposed to be at. There's marks. I don't know if you're able to see it. There's marks on this on both sides. And what you do is you match them. You could also measure the distance. There's various ways of doing it. I found that since this is the third time I've had to change this, I found that this is the way I like to do it, and I'm most comfortable with it by tightening this one first, getting my slack properly, and then pushing the tire into position, and then making sure this is tight but not spinning it, because it'll start to retract this side. So once you're comfortable with that, then you're going to want to put your other nut on both sides. Careful not to spin it. Put it here, and this is all before you put the big washer and nut on this side. Since that's the proper tension you want to have it at, you're going to want to take both of your size 12 wrenches, hold this one in position because that's the one you don't want to spin, and tighten that one. that's the position you're going to want to have, and that's going to be your chain slack that you want to keep. Same thing on the other side. Just put that on there and get your nut in there, and you have your tools for that. Now, one thing that's very, very important to remember is to make sure that if you got your tire back from the shop, before you go through all the trouble, I already did this, but I want to point it out. Make sure that the shop put the tire on right. It's rare, but it happens, and you want your arrow to be pointing in the direction that the tire is going to be traveling at. Like I said, it's rare, but shops may sometimes mess it up. So before you go through all the trouble of mounting it, you want to make sure that that's in the right direction before you start putting everything back together. So that is correct on here, and now I'm going to tighten everything now that everything's back in place. Like I said, these are your tools that come with a motorcycle. You're just going to want to keep the extension on this side, which is the side you're going to be spinning. This you're just holding in place. So you're going to go ahead and take it. If you're concerned about the torque specifications, your owner's manual should certainly have it. I've done this a few times, just enough to know where I'm comfortable at what tightness, so that's what I'm going to do. But you're certainly welcome to look it up and get the right torque specifications. So I remember that's where I'm comfortable at. The tire spins well. Spin it a few times, looks well. And now we're ready to clean up. And I'm going to go ahead and take it for a quick test.